remind us that freedom is priceless. It's worth fighting for as long as it takes, and that's how long we're going to be with you, Mr. President, for as long as it takes.
We'll do it.
Thank you.
That's the President of the United States of America meeting with Joe Biden there. Joining me now, Pedro Gonzalez, senior writer of Chronicles, a magazine of American culture. Pedro, it didn't look like it was filmed in East Palestine, Ohio, but I guess it could have been.
Yeah, we could all be mistaken, because from where we are standing, it sure looks like the President of the United States cares more about this obnoxious panhandler, Zelensky, and his kleptocracy than he does about the people in Middle America who are living through a waking nightmare where they don't know if it's even safe to be in their houses. They have no idea what's going on in their own backyard. They don't trust their own government, and who could blame them? And basically there is this long shadow of uncertainty that's been cast over their future. Meanwhile, President Biden is, chumming up with Zelensky. And as part of that visit, by the way, he announced a new $500 million aid package for Ukraine. It's really hard to not get the impression that the people who are running this country hate Americans.
Pedro, you're so good on this stuff. So I've been waiting for you. I was waiting for this today so I could ask you this question because I can't quite process it in my mind. We have this huge disconnect between not just Democrats, it's not just Joe Biden, it's all Republicans. Basically, all the Republicans are in on this too. And I'm not even actually taking a side about the whole Russia-Ukraine thing, but this is not anything that's on any American's top 5 list. Nobody. Everyone has different concerns in this country. Yet it appears to be priority one for both parties. Mitch McConnell, there's nothing more important. Joe Biden, hey, here's another $1 trillion or two. How do we get to a place as a country where neither political party cares about what the people want at all?
I think it's this really noxious confluence of ideology and interests. And what I mean by that, by ideology, is that it's basically this belief that America has a kind of moral obligation to be the world police, but that comes obviously, as we all know now, at the expense of America itself, the real place that's home to flesh and blood people like the ones in East Palestine, Ohio. That is the cost of the American empire, is the republic itself. I mean, this is nothing new. Pat Buchanan wrote a book called Republic, Not an Empire. And the title basically sums up not only this particular view, but something that we've actually known throughout history. Whenever a republic turns into an empire, the republic itself dies. And that's just the reality that we're living in. So why would anybody willingly sign on to that or facilitate that kind of a transition? Well, because obviously there's a lot of money involved. There's a whole lot of money involved in this empire, whether we're talking about defense contractors or the nexus of international money laundering, which is the Ukrainian government, which, until recently, the entire world understood to be extremely corrupt and just kind of a black hole for various shady personalities. It was the Wall Street Journal published an analysis in 2015, and they found that one of the top sources of foreign contributions to the Clinton Foundation was from, surprise, Ukraine. This was all known until recently, but again, the interests of the American empire subordinate that reality, and it all comes at the expense of the real flesh and blood American people.
But if I'm a Senator Jerkwater, and I need to get reelected, I need the people of my state to vote for me. So why do I spend so much time talking about an issue they don't care about at all? Is it simply they're not worried about the American people rejecting them?
I think you're getting at something really important and really difficult, because you're right. We continue to reelect people like Mitch McConnell, who said more than once, I think, that Ukraine is the most important thing going on in the world right now. We continue to reelect people like Lindsey Graham, who after Ukraine and Russia signed a ceasefire, a set of ceasefire agreements called the Minsk Accords. You have Lindsey Graham saying basically that the United States is going to encourage and enable Ukraine to violate this ceasefire 1 year after it's been signed as part of a proxy war against Russia. And yet he gets reelected. And I think there's a real problem here, which is that we don't seem to care enough. And that's why these people stay in power. And on the other hand, they have political machines that are really, really powerful. I mean, Republicans are good at one thing more than anything else, and that's keeping themselves in power with their political machines. Think back to the midterms with the political machine around Kevin McCarthy actually attacking America First candidates like Anthony Sabatini in Florida and Joe Kent. That's right, and Washington, right? They're really good at protecting themselves and keeping themselves in office. But again, it comes down to us. I mean, at the end of the day, it's on us to get rid of these guys.